Let's do the next one. We want to store this number 6.131567 into a variable and output it here. I am going to call this variable variable2. As you can see, this box drops down and I can double click on double. I'll press enter. You can see that dim and as double have become blue, just like dim and as integer have become blue. These words have special meaning to VBA, as you have already learned. As you can see, the box comes here, and I don't need to finish typing .value. I can just choose it, press enter. Yes, I'm taken to the next line, so I just go back to where I was. I will now run the program. Very nice. To make your program easier to read, you could include a space here. So now you can see that you have a clearly defined section of this is where we're learning about integer variables, and this section is where we are learning about double variables. It just makes your program a little bit easier to read. This kind of thing will be more important as your programs become longer and more complicated. Another thing that you could try is perhaps you could dim all of your variables first and then set the values of all of your variables next, and then output the values of all of your variables. So it would look something like this. So now you have divided your program into 3 distinct sections. In this section you declare your variables. In this section you set values for your variables. And in this section you output the values of all your variables to the spreadsheet. You can also add comments, like so. You may be wondering about these green lines. Any line that begins with an apostrophe in VBA, this line is ignored. This line is called a comment. It begins with an apostrophe and the text becomes green. This line is ignored. These lines are for us so that we know what is going on. This becomes more important as your programs get bigger and more complicated. Just to show you that it will still work, no errors. I'm going to delete these figures. Now I will delete these as double and as integer. Do you think that it will still work? Wow, it still works. What we have learned is that in a language like VBA, you do not have to declare the type of variable. In a harder language, for example like C, you do have to declare the type of variable. But in VBA, you don't have to. I will delete these values again. And I'm going to delete these dim. Does the program still work? Yes, the program still works. From this we can learn that in VBA we do not have to declare regular variables. The next thing that I will do, I will remove this dot value and then run the program again. Yes, it still works. Try everything in this part of the video now and then proceed to the next part of the video.